Okay, so the next topic here is what if analysis. Okay, we'll see the what if analysis, how to perform the analysis for existing assets by changing any one of the element which will impact the depreciation. Okay, we'll see that. Go to asset work area, assets, and go to task list. And here we have a task called as perform what if analysis. Fine. We can go with the selection criteria for which assets you want to perform this what if analysis. Fine. So we want to do the perform the what if analysis for the assets which are in this corporate book, and for which period you want to select as starting period. The current month, the currency is USD. For how many periods? Say for 4 periods want to perform what if analysis. Now you can select the criteria and what criteria base you want to perform the what if analysis. So any one of this element you can select, accordingly it will pick the assets for the analysis. We'll go with the category. So select category, for which category of assets we want to perform the analysis. Category is Google buildings, say office buildings, say OK. So we know very well for this category of assets what is the lifetime we have and depreciation method we have, but by changing the any one of the parameter, that could be depreciation method, lifetime, or life in months, or it could be prorate convention. Okay, the depreciation scenario, which elements we want to change. By changing these elements we can find out how much depreciation system will calculate if you apply that on the assets. Say we want to go with the same depreciation method or different depreciation method. If we go with the same, we'll change the lifetime. So we selected for all the assets as a 60. Say if you are going to use those assets for 45 years, how the depreciation will reflect. Okay, say that we want to know. Now simply just this is how we have to select the scenario for depreciation and say submit. Now it will trigger the job and it will generate the report. So request was submitted to create what if analysis data. Okay, run the what if depreciation analysis report when the analysis is completed. Okay, so this report we have to run after analysis is completed, so that it will display as per the current asset properties how the depreciation is getting calculated. If you change to that scenario, how it would calculate. Now you can go to scheduled processes. When this analysis is completed, now we have to run the report. Earlier in the previous versions, they just given the process of this what if analysis, automatically system will trigger the report also as a next job. Okay, but now just this slightly they changed. What if depreciation analysis report. We Google corporate book process ID, because for this book we submitted only one, so only one ID we have. And from period and to period, these are not mandatory. Everything is specified within that only. From period we take current month, and we give the specification as a 4 months. We don't need to select those current month until 4 months, not required. Submit. Say okay. Done. Now we can see the analysis related information. Just scroll little down. Here you could see the output file. Click on that output name and open. So here you can see that information. No data found. What's wrong with this? So basically it has to show that information. We have assets and everything is fine, but why it's not fetching? Here it will show the actual depreciation, and here it will show the new depreciation, which will impact based on the parameters which you are changing. Okay. So this is just to understand. Okay. So this won't impact anything on the existing assets. It's not fetching the information. So for that we cannot do anything in this environment. Just try to understand the point. Okay. You just try from the instance which you have access. It should work. I'm not sure why it is not fetching. Okay, this is a new instance for us which we are using for class. Maybe something wrong in this environment related to that report. Fine. And we'll see how to perform the retirement and how to do the reinstatement. How to undo the retirement. Perform that activity. You can go to assets task. Go to task list. Here we have a task called as retire assets. So when you talk about retirement, you can do retirement cost base, okay, or unit base. First we'll find all the assets which we have in our corporate book. Okay. And before that we'll go and see the final mode depreciation. So now what we could do is we can, from here we can do it. For the current period we will run the final mode depreciation. You can select total, we have 16 additions. Click on drop down and say close period. Say yes. Now we know very well, like same as EBS, system will close this current period July and it will open the next period automatically. So just will wait for some time. You can go and see the jobs which system is running at ESS job page. Calculate depreciation. you can see. So the August period is open. I will go and find all the assets for which assets depreciation is calculated. Just click on search. Okay, select any asset, you can see the depreciation. Okay, fine. Now we'll see how to retire the asset. Here we have a retirements. We'll take the initiative for retirement. So say retire asset. Task is retire assets. You can click on search to find all the assets which are in the corporate book. Now you can select any one of the asset. I'm just selecting asset called as XYZ buildings. You can go with the cost based retirements or unit based. If you want to go with the cost based retirement, you have to specify the cost, how much cost you are going to retire from this actual asset cost. Here you can enter the cost. If you want to go to unit base, simply you can specify the how many units. If you look at this asset, for example, so this asset cost is, it's not displaying here, 1 second. Yeah, so it's a 5 lakhs. From 5 lakhs, how much you want to retire? That's how you can specify. When you talk about the units, it will display the number of units. Select, say, retire units. So here total number of units for this asset is 1. How many units you want to retire? The same we can do, since one we have to retire. So retire units, and you may write some comments why you are retiring that asset. Okay, so that it's a, you lost the asset, organization lost the asset, or some other reasons, it's a casual retirement, or you are going to replace the asset, the latest version of, if it is a plant or vehicle, whatever, you can write here comments. Then you can say submit. Say done. Now you could see, so we have an asset in the retirements as ready to post. Okay, that system will do that process automatically. As a step, it was displaying. That's all. Now we can go and find assets which are retired. Go to task list. So you can go with the task called as reinstate assets. The assets which are retired, those would be available here to reinstate, to undo the retirement. Click on search. Only one asset we have, which is retired. And if you want to undo the retirement, you can click on reinstate. The same we have in EBS also, same process we follow. So we don't see the difference when we talk about assets also. Done. No asset as a retired. This we reinstated. Okay, that's all about reinstating the asset. Now we'll see how to load the asset information into FA by using FBDI template. So we know that process very well. Go to template section. Go to financials. Select version of application which we are using. Here you can go to usage, use, search for okay, file based data. here we have a link, import file based data. Click on that. If not, from here, from books also you can navigate. So here is the template, fixed assets, mass addition, import. So download, right click and say save link as. Say create separate folder, Google FBDI, save it. So here you can make a note of the schedule process name. Okay, the process name is post mass additions, where the data would reflect in this interfaces. So anyway, we are not going to place the file in the UCM. So if you are going to place in UCM, this is the account, UCM account. Directly we'll go with the load interface file for import process. Okay, done. So here is our file. Open this. So you can find every file with the sample data when you download from that repository. Okay, I'm going to remove all the records except one. So here we have to provide asset account, asset book. So this is our asset book name. What we'll do is so copy it is not possible. No issues. We'll type it. Google corporate book. So interface line number, any number you can go with this. Okay, any number you can.
In the third book, you mentioned wrong spelling, so just correct it.
What is that?
The back. The Google corporate book, the spelling is correct here, but the way you defined asset book corporate is a wrong mistake. Just go back and check the corporate spelling.
Oh, here I entered something wrong. Okay. Corporate. Okay. Fine. It should match. Okay, we entered just one additional letter. Okay. The same we have to use here also. Fine. It should sync with the same name. Fine. So this is our corporate book name. So asset number we know very well, like if you enter number here, this number system will take. If you don't provide number here in the system controls, system controls what are the numbering already specified, that number it follows. Okay, you can enter or else you can ignore it. You can ignore it and you can write as a description. Just you can say FBDI asset any description you can write just for asset identification. So asset type is capitalized asset, and asset cost say 4 lakhs, and provide asset date placed in service. So that is the format we have to follow: year, month, and date. Okay, year, month, and date. Year, month 09, and date. Your current month, date, 18. Prorate convention. Just to take the reference of that information, we can just provide all these details here. Okay, that field will enter later. Okay, no issues. So number of units, say 1, and asset category, major segment value and minor segment values. So just select here, the same we can copy and paste. Done. So we are using only 2 segments, right? Okay, posting status for these additions. So this you can ignore, not required this. Okay, posting status. You can just keep the status as a new, no issues. Once system will take into application, just we do that. And this queue status, also make it as a new only. And feeder system, if you want to provide reference, you can provide the parent asset number, add to asset not required, and these details. It's asset key. Okay, we created a value called as a none. The same you can select here, or else from here you can take it. Fine, we'll just fill it later. Let it be. As of now, we can select none, and we'll verify the values exist or not. So in physical inventory, yes. Property type, this may not be required. Class in use, yes. Ownership, bought, new asset. Amortize, if you want to apply, you can set to yes. Depreciate, yes. So depreciation should, we want to calculate on that asset. Salvage value and all not required. Same. So depreciation method, yes. Strike line. Life in months. Okay. So life in months you can specify here. So 36 in the sense it's all about 3 3 years lifetime, and you can say 720 months. Okay, that means 60 years. Ceiling type and all not required. What are the information we require for this asset definition? You can provide all the details. Invoice cost, we are not taking this invoice asset based on the invoice information. And here we can provide the asset clearing account. So here you can select asset clearing account. The same combination you can provide within the sheet. Anyway, the company department, always we are using 1000. select, say okay. So this value we require for company. First segment is company, second segment is department 1000, account values this, and we don't have more than three segments in our chart of accounts. So 1000 and the asset clearing account. So verify all the columns fields which are available in this sheet, because just we by default we could see sample data, and we are trying to create the record based on the sample data record. All additional information we don't require. Just remove this. Remove. Okay, remove the sample data also related to source lines. Project tracking information. Done. Fine. Here we given these details. A combination cannot be used if it doesn't exist. Why it doesn't exist? Not permitted. What's wrong with this? So already we use this combination, right? Okay, because here this is a field. It should be expense account only. So that is the reason it's giving message. In reality, it will accept the respective. So building. It is not taking. Okay, just to move to the next uh, page for this, just enter any one of the tests here. So okay. So next, just to take some reference information we are navigating here, we'll just look at asset key value. Okay, we have none here, so the same we selected. So we'll verify once again. So units, segments. So asset key we given as a none. So fine. Fine, that's fine. Now we can just go to any other information in here. I think we given. So now we can move to this tab called as FA Mass Additions Distributions. It's nothing but asset assignments. Okay, we assign the asset to employee expense account and location. The distribution is nothing but units distribution, which we call as asset assignments. You can just remove all the records except one. So interface line number, we have to do this mapping. So the same number you can take 1 to 1 we given. The same here also you can take 1 to 1. Number of units 1 only. So here you have to provide the asset location. Okay. Asset location sheet. Country. State. Okay. So this is where we entered the value. The same you can take as this. Done. And here you can provide the account. So that account you can take from here, this account. So company 1000, department 1000. So this is account. We have only 3 segments in our chart of accounts. Remove remaining sample data. Done. Okay. These rates and all not applicable. Just remove the data. Okay, done. That's all. We just given the required data in the sheet for asset definition. Now the rest of processes we have to generate the CSV file. Just click on generate CSV file. Save this zip file in the respective folder. So just save in this. System is generating the CSV files because within the 2 tabs we entered the data, so 2 CSV files it generated. Okay, now we can just cancel this record. Just be taken for reference purpose, right? Cancel it. Done. Now the rest of process we know, same process what we followed for payables, receivables related data. Go to schedule processes. We have to submit the job called as load interface file for import. Okay, select and say okay. So we didn't upload the file in the UCM. Directly we can browse as a part of this job parameter. So import process, already we have seen here. Post mass additions. Okay, post mass additions. Select import process as a post mass additions. Here we have post mass additions. Select it and data file. So just upload the file. Just click on browse. Select it. Say okay and submit. So now what system will do? The data which is
Lakshman,
page.
Lakshman, we don't have prepare mass editions.
Sorry,
We don't have prepare mass editions in Fusion.
what you are referring as prepare mass additions?
Like when we are uploading the data, we process prepare mass editions. So like we can go and see the data in prepare mass editions, right?
You will see that because that is the reason I selected status as a new.
Okay.
If you select post, directly it will create as a definition based on this data.
Okay.
Okay, so we can do that. If you keep status as a post, it will define the asset. We want to see that record, and we will go and change the status from new to post. Then we can submit. Then it will turn into asset definition.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
same we are going to see. Fine. So system is submitted this job. Prepare asset transaction data. Done. Now we can, this data would get populated in the interface level, right? In the first stage, the data which is available in the file, the data would get populated in the interface. By following the next step, we have to import the data from the interface to base tables. The data which is available in the FA master interface, the data we have to import into base tables. For that, that process also will use the same job. Okay. Now we are in this ESS job page. To submit that job, we have to refresh this page. Scheduled processes. Say post mass sections. It's not displaying any book information. Just 1 second. It's reflecting. That is the reason it is not showing. It is showing because, so for data which is available in the interface, we can see in the FA case. That is the reason that that process is not allowing. Normally, if because we given status as a new, that is the reason it is not giving the option over there. If it is a post, it will allow, but here we have to change the status, then only you can do it. Just you can click on that incomplete record. The same here we can see FBDI asset, or else you can select, go to actions, say edit, change the status to post. This is what we call as prepare mass sections, right? So change the status, all the information already we given No additional information required, right? Directly you can say save and close. So the same line is ready to post. Now select this ready to post option. It will enable post all. Click on post all. This line will turn into asset definition. Now if you look at additions, you don't have any data. That means system converted that line as asset. The same we can go and find here. Click on search. We create it as a FPDI asset, right? So asset is created. Fine. And creating accounting entries and transferring to general ledger for all the transaction like additions, so for all depreciation, retirements, for all this system will perform the accounting entries and it will transfer to GL. So go to task list. Here we have a task called as create accounting. Select our corporate book. Google corporate book. End date, this month end date, today's date. Accounting mode, final, process events, let all events process. And the posting style summary. Transfer to general ledger, yes. Say post in general ledger also, yes. Okay, if you want to identify all these journals as a batch, you may provide the batch name so that with this batch name you can find all these accounted transactions and within the GL. Okay, just we may give FA asset terms of month if you want to give it as a batch. Say submit. Now it will create accounting entries for all these FA events. Go to ESS job page, scheduled processes. Okay, done. Still is running. We'll wait. Find no issues, it imported journals into GL and the same journal it is posting. In the meantime, we can just navigate to GL to find out the same journals which are flowing from FA to GL. Yeah, the posting also completed. Done. Now we can switch to GL. Select task called as journals. Go to task list. Okay, before that select your ledger. task is manage journals. Select with accounting period called as July month. Just select source as assets. Anyway, that's all it is displaying asset. July month additions, July month CAP additions, capitalization, category change, depreciation. Okay, all. Okay, source you may filter here assets. Okay, so these all are the journals which are interfaced from FA to GL. And fine, done. Just we close it. So that's all about it. What if analysis we see? Just the report's output is not coming. Just you can try in the instance which you are using. Retirement will test, reinstate, how to perform, how to load, create accounting entries. Or on the period close, the same document which is applicable for all the modules. Now voice approvals undo. Easing methods in here that we'll see later. So after this, we can go with the cash management. So in this environment, to work on cash management, we don't have any sample records available from payables and receivables, from payables, payments, from receivable receipts. I'll keep that data ready, and tomorrow session we can work on cash management. Okay, so we'll connect tomorrow same time and we'll work on cash management. Tomorrow session itself we can close cash management. The next session we can plan on O2C cycle. We'll do the required configuration to see the process of sales order creation till auto invoice creation receivables. Okay, so that's all for today. Any questions from anyone, please?